we're moving on. So, Martin, I know you're working, so your answer's going to be really quick. So you're going to be working next week and the foreseeable future. And Chris, you're probably going to be very similar. But without any football, the younger guys, the kids with us, they'll probably tell us something different. But you guys, you and Chris, I'm going to come to you two first. The older generation, even though Martin's only 21. I did qualify with the fact that you're only 21. Without football, how are you going to occupy yourselves for the next, well, let's say 6 months, because God knows what's going to happen. But what are you going to do without football? How are you going to occupy your time when you would be watching football?
I'm going to work, and then I've got some channel to do some stuff on. I don't know what it's called. Can't remember the name of the channel. Anyway, as you know,
somebody has you on a channel?
Someone has me on a channel. I haven't got a clue what it's about. God. It's with a load of absolute.
What are your age? At your age, you need some kids on the chat back.
Yeah, 26. Aren't you a bit old for YouTube, Martin?
Why we're 21?
We have all these fake City fans who wear Real Madrid shirts on it. Anyway,
I'm come across as two names.
I'm just gonna. The main thing is I'm gonna look after my kids and keep them safe, because I had my lad who come home, my youngest. He came home Wednesday night cheering. Dad, we've got no school tonight. He came home absolutely shell shocked, and it was like the reality of it.
No, they're gonna miss the mates, aren't they?
Yeah. He was going to a hot tub party tomorrow. Ain't happening now. And it's I know.
Is that not what you're supposed to be going to?
Hot tub parties?
Yes.
Hot tub party. Bloody hell! What's it? Just don't forget.
We're gonna go take seats Uncle Andy to get a load of stuff.
What's happening? The address? Oh no, I shouldn't say that because that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Maybe I'll edit that out.
Martin, it turned into one of those streams?
Yeah, it sounds like it. I was thinking more of the mum, but anyway. Go on then. So you're looking after the kids. That's what you're doing. Go on.
Working.
All right, buddy. Tom, and then I'll come to Chris.
Well,
what are you going to do now? Because obviously, no GCSEs. You're now not finishing that. There's no football to go to and things like that.
Well, first of all, I'm exactly the same as Martin's son. I felt like that. I was sort of excited when I heard the news, but I woke up this morning like a bit shell-shocked and gutted about that. I'm not going to see everybody again and stuff, so I'm likewise with Martin's son there.
Sorry to interrupt, there's no guarantees you're not going back to school yet.
I know that.
Yeah.
Let's not think
teachers getting your toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
but for the next week or two at least or something.
Yeah. So I think me and my dad are going to start volunteering and helping the elderly at some point to keep ourselves going.
Sorry, I am going to applaud that. Sorry.
Oh no, I'll do that for Ryan.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, we're gonna volunteer and help out because we feel like we need to give our contributions. Bearing in mind, I'm not going to be doing anything other than probably sat on the Xbox and watching 500 episodes of Coronation Street with some rice.
You know who that is, don't you? Look at him, he's already laughing. Look, he's going. Well, I do that every day.
I have not watched a single episode of Coronation Street I've had my TV since last Christmas, and it's never once been on the TV setting.
Yeah, right, okay. Right, go on, Tom. Sorry.
Yeah. So just still gonna study, keep the brain active because obviously I'll be going into sixth form and so on in September, and just volunteer as well. Give my part and help the key workers such as everybody else and keep it as a good community.
Well done, buddy. That's very nice to hear. So well done for that one, buddy. Chris.
Oh, going on to sixth form, eh?
Hey.
If only it was that clever.
I know.
For me,
50 years since Chris did that.
Yeah, all right, mate.
It's only been a few.
Well, it's only been a couple for you.
I'm hoping that I can stay well and fit, and I'll probably have to do more hours than normal, and I'm happy to do them as long as I'm feeling well. But then obviously with the wife being home with 2 children, she's going to need support at home. She's always said she's saying at the minute, because I'm the one going out, that I'm the weak link. But she's always said that. And
yeah, you know what? On a serious point, this is the thing, and I'm going to stick up for the dads here, and I'm not saying that it's the dads who are always the ones that are the breadwinners and things like that. That's not my point. But the fact is it don't matter, role reversal, whichever, is you might have as a family unit, let's say at the average, let's say two children, 2 parents, whatever, and one has to go to work and one has to stay at home now looking after the kids. And the thing is that the parent is at work all day, sometimes in a very stressful environment and things. They come home and the wife or the husband goes, I've had these all day, look after them. Well, they've just been in a 12-hour shift of a stressful environment, coming home going, and I know it's your kids, but it's like sometimes you just need an hour or 2 away just to sort of get all of the crap that you've had during the day, and then pick the kids up and laugh and joke with them and things like that. Sometimes that happens, but it's interesting you say that, because that is going to be a big thing over the next few months with families.
Yeah, I think, this isn't just for adults, this is kids as well, It's that sort of being isolated, mental health, it's going to be a big thing for people. So, you've got to give the wife the time to talk, adult talk. I'll try. And then you've got... but I'm always been somebody who goes to bed late, and she's always sort of goes to bed 10 o'clock-ish, So that'll be when my time will be, my time. And as I said to you before we come on air, Andy, I've just been listening to the Sex Pistols pretty much constantly, because I don't know why, they just are keeping my spirits up, that sort of defiant sort of, with a bit of sarcasm thrown in. That's
just like much. Oasis in my case.
Yeah, I would say, and music's a massive thing for me, and not being able to go to football's bad enough, but not going to gigs as well is oh mate, I'm not going to swear, but it's a big deal to me. So yeah, it's going to be testing times, mate. But we'll come through it.
Well, I messaged Ivor messaged me before, and I messaged him saying, he said he's having a night in his man shed with some Northern Soul, and I said, hey, don't forget you invited me over. There might be a night that I'll need to come over one night in the next couple of weeks, and if you've got a sofa in there, I'll kip in your man shed, and we'll have a night of Northern Soul and a few beers if we're allowed to. So it's gonna different things, horses for courses, and people are gonna have to find a little bit of relief somewhere where they can just have, even if it's half an hour on their own, just because times are going to get stressful. Certainly in family units and things like that, it's going to be difficult, but we just have to get on with it. Ryan, I'm not. Shall I come to you? I was going to say he's going to sleep for 17 hours, get up and watch Coronation Street. Go on then. What are you going to do?
Why would I be watching Coronation Street? What a horrible idea.
I have no idea.
I won't be allowed to go and play darts anymore.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, no, darts has been cancelled. That was cancelled.
Have you got a dartboard in your room?
My dartboard's just there.
Well, I don't know, because you. I can see. I can see it now. The problem being is that you're on landscape, but I can see that in the background. So, all right. So
I'll practice my darts. We'll be meeting at the bar shed for WrestleMania. So that's part of our plans.
The bar shed.
The bar shed for WrestleMania. Playing FIFA with Cal.
As long as you're responsible.
Is Cal still around?
Cal's still around. He said hi. I just messaged him on Facebook.
Right, very quickly.
Cal says hi.
I'm going to tell him hello. And Kiam assigned Lucas Digne, and he was pretty garbage on the latest FIFA one. So maybe Kiam needs to sell Lucas Digne and
Tom Davis is garbage
and get 2 million for him or something like that, and say it was a Mangala type of buy. But anyway,
I can tell you what my missus said after this coronavirus. You know, if we all get stuck in. Right. I mean, I don't know whether I should tell you.
No, maybe you shouldn't because people are watching.
Keep it PG, Martin. Yeah. You know you don't wear pants at all, but you know.
It is PG. She just said, "Can you imagine the baby room in 9 months?"
Yeah, well, somebody posted on Twitter today saying, "Can you imagine in December?"
I've been told that they already have.
Somebody, yeah, somebody told
the PG rating has disappeared.
So that's why people inside for the past 20 minutes.
Go on, I'll bring you on. There you go. What are you saying?
Oh no, I've been playing the wrestling games on Xbox.
I'm sure you have.
I wondered what you were looking at in the top corner there. But anyway, listen. Before we move on to the golden question, I'm just going to go around the room. What's he watching there? Put it away.
It's the wrestling game.
Summer transfers. I'm gonna keep this to 2 people because you could end up spending an hour talking about it. So we're gonna have to be quick. So I'm gonna go 2 players who you think could leave in the summer and 2 players you think City should get in. So I am gonna start with Tom on this one. So Tom, 2 players out and 2 players in.
Just names, no explanations. Yeah.
Well, if you keep it brief, brief.
I can keep John Stones. He's going out. Yes, Martin. Yes. Me and Martin are the same. We just can't stand the guy. Thank the Lord.
You know what? Here's one for you. Right, and this is for everybody who's watching this video. Go back and listen to the last podcast. And I'm glad you said that now, Tom. Yeah. Go back and listen to the last podcast, because if you see at a point where I'm talking about transfers, Tom actually says John Stones is my all-time favourite Man City player. He actually says that on the podcast, and I listened to it back about 3-4 days ago. It was in the car, and I was listening to it, and I was going, "Did he really say that?" And I had to scroll it back. And no, it wasn't. And he went, and John Stones is my all-time favourite Manchester City player. And I'm thinking, that can't surely be right. Surely.
It's not right. Can't stand the fuck.
There you go, everybody. There's a plug for the
I'm
podcast.
Gonna check this.
Go back and listen to the podcast. Well, he says no matter what, he's retracting it now. He's actually a real John Stones fan. He turned around and said it's his favourite all-time City player. But anyway, Tom, go on. John Stones, John
Stones, and I think Zinchenko will leave as well. Not that I think, another one, but I don't think he's as bad as John. I think Zinchenko just hasn't fitted in. You know, he was put in the left back position, but we were high flying in the Centurion season, so he looked decent. I think he'll be the one to go. And then I think coming in, this might surprise a few people. I think Harry Kane's going to come in. I think Harry Kane's going to join. I think he's. You got a Real Madrid shirt.
I'm disappointed.
I was going to say I'll take it off, but I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah. So Harry Kane.
Andy, you should really blur his shirt just to make it look like an ordinary Adidas shirt.
It's frightening. I know.
And then if I can pronounce his name right, Skriniar.
I put him off camera so that he would go and change it. Skriniar, you reckon Skriniar?
I think he needs to come in. I think he's going to be a brilliant centre back to come in. Just needs
Martin's all-time favourite player.
You know, it's just like listening to a younger version of me, innit?
He likes Skriniar more than David Silva.
He likes
Is that better for you? There you go.
Oh, here we go. He's got it back on now.
There you go.
Oh, that's a bit worse because we can see. Hey, that's more like it. So Tom, you're basically going John Stones and Zinchenko out.
Yeah.
Skriniar and who was the other one?
Harry Kane.
That's a defender and a striker, which is not a bad shout for positions, and not a bad shout for both, in my opinion. But gonna move over to Aleks. Aleks, 2 out, 2 in. Who are they?
I'm not gonna repeat myself with John Stones. I have to pick another one. So, Nicolas Otamendi and Joao Cancelo.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yes. Those two are gonna go out.
We're gonna bring him in here because he's gutted now that he didn't say Joao Cancelo. But go on, Aleks.
I hate him more than John Stones.
You don't hate
There you go.
That's a strong word.
What's he done for us? He's done absolutely nothing.
I know, we still don't hate him.
Two in.
Okay, I dislike him.
So you're going Otamendi and Joao Cancelo. That's two defenders. So you can only replace them with defenders.
Well, I wasn't actually thinking of replacing with only, but I have one defender that and this is probably a surprise. Yerry Mina.
Oh, don't tell Cal.
Oh, no.
Okay. We're gonna be inundated. Oh,
and the
God.
other one being
Ryan, get it sorted. Tell him.
I'm already messaging him.
He's already messaging him.
And the other one being a player that I have always wanted at City, and that's Heung-min Son.
Ah, good shout. Got a very good player. Very.
Hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Hello?
Can you hear us? Hello? Can you hear us? We can hear you. We're good. We can hear you.
I'm laughing at Ryan in the bottom corner. It's like
I'm surprised he's not giving it this. What I'll do while he sorts out, I'll bring Tommy while he's so Tom can laugh at Ryan. There you go. Aleks might go off and we'll bring him back in if he comes in a minute.
What John Stones is going to get when he leaves that silence then?
Oh God, I know. Chris, I'm coming to you.
That's how I'll sum up John Stones' time at City.
Oh, that's shocking. I might even move you out of there. Go on, I'll move you away just because you're that cheeky. Go on, Chris.
Well, it looks like Aleks is gone and Martin's got really big on my screen.
That's scary.
I don't like it.
Has he got big? All right.
Yeah,
I can see you all now.
He's put that weight back on.
I'll tell you what.
Sorry, buddy. I'm just calling Aleks now. Hey, listen. Thank you for those comments. No, I'm calling Aleks. No, I wasn't. Right, I'm just calling him now. So crack on, Chris. He might jump in a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Oh
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Am I still in the call? Yes, you are. He's joined now. There you go. You're back, Aleks.
Wow, apologies.
No problem. You're in the top corner, mate. So we're on to Chris.
Aleks, we're now in the year 2023.
The season still hasn't started.
I know it has. You can't believe it. We won the quadruple. We won the Champions League. We won the Premier League by
that was just
46 points. And
John Stones is still at the club.
And Liverpool were relegated.
Oh,
anyway,
suggestion?
Chris, over to you, buddy.
Well, when football returns, Phil Foden might be past it, so we'll see. But you're hating a John Stones. I mean,
it's terrible.
It's terrible.
They've
never seen hard times, these lot, have they?
Terrible.
I don't like
him. You're 21.
Disgraceful.
I wouldn't get rid of John Stones, right? So there you go. If I had to lose two players, this is going to be controversial now. I would lose Zinchenko. I agree with Zinchenko. He's not good enough as a left back cover, and he'll never get his preferred position. So I think he probably is a waste of space, really. And the other one I get rid of would be Mahrez, because I think since he's become a regular in the team, Sorry, Martin.
Well, there goes the ratings on this video.
It's the comments unexpected.
There's a few dislikes.
There goes the ratings.
Listen, Andy made me say this, right?
Oh, cheers! You know what? Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna get the hatred. The racist hatred now is all gonna come back on me like it normally does.
Let me explain it, right? Because when we had Leroy and Raheem on the wings, right, it was all about pace, raw pace, and we were a different team when it was all about raw pace on the wings. We were frightening. Really miss Leroy, and hopefully he'll stay. But I think that's the one problem with Mahrez. Spends too long on the ball, gives the ball away too much. So yeah, I think he has really changed our style of player, as has Rodri, but I'll give him a bit longer. 2 players in. Left back definitely sorting out. I wouldn't be surprised if we get Chilwell if it was nearly on the cards last time. Not overly bothered about Chilwell, and I'd like to see Ruben Diaz come in as centre back. So they'd be my.
You're just feeding Martin his ego now.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of a defender for a defender, and we're going to get rid of an attacker for a defender.
And I'll explain that, Andy, because I've watched a couple of the kids' games, right? I want to see Jaden Braff given a go.
He's a good.
He is lightning fast. He makes mistakes, he loses the ball, right? But he's
a kid and got loads to learn, but he's raw and he does look bloody good. I'll give you that. He looks like some, but then again, it's the same old argument back to Phil Foden, isn't it?
Of course it is, mate. Yeah.
If we've got somebody for 18 months who's been around the squad and played bit of games and now playing more games, and we can't get him in now. I do think he'll come into the squad next season. I think he'll be the replacement for David Silva.
I agree with that, but I'm telling you now, Jadon Sancho, we lost out, and he might have a bad attitude, but we're going to lose millions and millions. But I'm telling you now, Jaden Braff is looks he's got something about him. He's a bit different.
Yeah. He is very exciting. I mean, I keep going on about the Sancho thing. City, Pep, everyone wanted him to stay. He just refused. There was nothing that Pep could do to convince him to stay. They offered him this. A kid of 18, they're not going to say, you'll be guaranteed. He wanted guarantees he'll be playing nearly every game or he'll be included. And they can't do this.
No, and sorry, Andy. And at the time, Leroy was, of course.
And are you going to go Sancho, Sane 12 months ago? No, it just wasn't going to happen. It's going to be one of those that'll probably come back and bite us in the arse in a year or two's time and go, Jesus Christ! If only would have been a little bit of difference in one player out and 12 months later, and it's going to be one of those. We're going to have to just suck it up and go. We might get 25 million somewhere down the line for somebody pays 200 million for him in 3-4 years time or something like that when Barcelona or Real Madrid sign him from somebody else. But yeah, it's one of those. I agree. Have I asked everybody? Ryan?
I'm not sure if...
Did he ask you? No, Matt.
My second option?
Yeah, no, I've asked Martin. I've asked Martin.
No.
Go on. Go on then.
Go on then.
Go on, Ryan.
Right.
Go on, give me yours.
For
I don't want stats and I don't want games.
That's fine. I'm not going to pull out stats. Don't worry.
Go on.
Also, Callum said no about Mina and said we should get Draxler and Neves. Okay. But anyway, I'm saying, that's what I said. I put Draxler and then TF. Yeah. So I would
Chris, don't you love the way kids talk?
Yeah, is that?
I just said Draxler and put TF.
Was that his initials?
I'm down with the kids.
Yeah, Martin's down with the kids. He does.
I know. I only have these lot on, so I know what people are talking about these days.
So I would be bringing in Konate from RB Leipzig.
Chris, I'm going to move you over
back option. And I would Konate from RB Leipzig for centre back. And I would probably bring in Richarlison just to annoy Carl, and he can play anywhere across the front three. And then I would be getting rid of probably Stones for Konate, and either Cancelo or Zinchenko, probably edging towards Cancelo, because I like Zinchenko and the fact that I think he really likes the club, and I would be keeping Angelino if RB Leipzig don't use that buy option.
Well, out of the two, you suggest if rumours are right, Zinchenko likes the club a lot more than João Cancelo does. That's for certain. Okay, right.
I didn't say Haaland.
No, you didn't. I can't believe.
Mainly because his buyout's not till the summer after.
Come to me yet, so calm down.
Oh no, we've done.
No, Martin, his buyout's not till next summer.
We're going to move on to the next question. Now, go on, Martin. I'm only kidding. Go on.
My two out.
Ruben Diaz.
John Stones. No. John Stones, because after 4 years, you hit the nail on the head at Wembley, and if you haven't improved under Pep in 2 years, you ain't good enough, in my eyes. Next year will be his 5th year. Or it might be his 25th year when this comes out and we've started football again. But he's not good enough. I don't want someone who plays 4 good games, 4 bad games. Not good enough. And the other one out is Gabriel Jesus.
Ooh.
What?
Okay,
I just had to he was like this. Yeah, it was like one of the. It was like, yeah, no, Chris, exactly. It was like one of those.
You just had everyone have that moment of silence where they worked out what happened, what he's just said.
Right, I'm gonna bring Chris back in here and put him in the corner. What the? Is he just talking? Because of that. Why? Ask yourself the same question.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
He's training with the kids, or not with the kids.
Can I say why?
Go on then, hurry up. Go on, I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back in for Ryan.
He's coming out of isolation. Oh, am I going in isolation now?
Yeah, you're training with the kids. Go on.
Listen, I'll tell you why. Not because I don't think he's good enough as a striker. I think he could do the Leroy Sané role very easily, like he does for Brazil. But I was told something in the summer. Gabriel Jesus. City were willing to let him go in the summer. They were willing to let him go. Pep is not 100% behind him as what probably everyone would like. That's what I was told. So I'm going to stick with that. And the two coming in are going to be Skriniar and you know the two I want, Ruben Diaz and Skriniar. There's your partnership with Laporte. There's your back three for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
All right, okay. All right, go on, Alex. You're dying to come in here, mate.
I have a question for Martin. What would be the price for Gabi Jesus?
I'd sell him for, or the club should. What I think.
Yeah.
This has stumped him.
No, it isn't.
I can't think of it.
600 million.
About 80 million, I think. Because I think
around 80.
Without fire, this Juventus link is not going away. I have done countless vlogs now in the last 3 months on Gabi Jesus and Juventus.
All right then. So Ryan, yes or no? Will Gabi Jesus does Gabi Jesus deserve to be sold from Manchester City? Yes or no? I know I had the big debate. Yes or no?
No.
Okay, Tom.
If he wants to leave, then...
No, I never said that. Yes or no?
No.
This is to make me look bad now.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Chris.
Andy the dictator.
Yes, it is.
Chris.
What TF is he going on about? He's not going. He's not going.
Alex.
TF.
No.
Andy.
Martin. FO. No way is Gabi Jesus going. But you listen, everyone. I know what you're saying. I do actually know what you're saying. I'm not quite sure I agree with the Gabi Jesus can play the Sané role because I still think they're two different players, regardless of the role that he plays at Brazil. But it wouldn't surprise me. If it depends. I think it all depends, and I think. Was it Aleks who turned around and said about Kane?
No, it was actually for Heung-min Son.
Heung-min Son or Kane. Now, if you're going to buy either of those players, let's face it, Premier League experience, you're looking at 150 million quid easily for Kane. You're looking at 100 million easily for Heung-min Son. You're going to have to raise that capital.
I would pay that.
And I don't think Sane will go to an English club. So Sane might go to Bayern Munich. We don't know yet. We don't know what's going to happen. And we're not going to get a great deal for him, which means that we're not going to be able to buy let's say, I'm only using your examples, which was Son and Kane. So you're replacing an out-and-out winger for one of those two. So Gabby is one of those that does. I honestly believe, Martin, and this is where I'm supporting you. I do believe that Gabby does split. Not supporting him in. I don't think Gabby will go.
But I do. Going across there.
No. I do think there's a section of City fans that look at him and think he'll never be an Agüero, regardless of how long he is, and nobody will be. But I can't see Gabby going because I think Pep really likes him. I think Pep really likes his work rate, his ethic, his flexibility to be able to play on the left, on the right, in a 10, in a 9. I think it's an interesting. No, I'm not going to dismiss it. I know we were all laughing before, but I'm not going to dismiss it. Certainly not. But I can't see it.
I like it. I like that.
I'll be really controversial. If you want to be controversial, I'll be controversial. I think if anyone goes before Gabby goes, it'll be Sergio Agüero. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
that was another one I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus will ever be a first team player for us.
Let's bring you in, Martin.
I don't think.
Bring you down there.
I don't think he'll ever be a first time player.
You play crosses up.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm just whizzing you all around. I'll give you a little rotation every few minutes.
Yeah.
Go on, Ryan. What did you just say?
I don't think he'll ever be a first team player for us because I think maybe next season will be the year where he plays his most games as a starting player for us when Agüero's kind of like getting zoned out a bit, and then I think we'll go and sign someone better for the striking position, and I think we'll go after Haaland with his really cheap buyout.
Can I just come back on you there, because actually you've made a really good point, which leads into a bigger question. Because let's face it, if we continue next season in the vein that we have done this season, okay, and this is for everybody, everybody I'm sure will agree here that we should have replaced Vincent Kompany, and we didn't. Now, we know there was issues with Otamendi was going to go and we were going to get Maguire, but then Otamendi decided he didn't want to go at the last minute and City weren't prepared to pay the 80 million and blah, blah, blah. But if we're now in the realms of thinking about the fact that Sergio's got, let's face it, we all know and we love him to bits, maybe one more season tops at the top level of the game. Should we not be planning now for next season and not waiting until Gabby, Jesus and Sergio will work out which way they're going to go, and then one of them goes and we have to bring somebody in? Should we not be planning for that right now?
That's why I think Gabby will go, because I think we'll buy a top striker and Gabby won't play.
Well, if that's the case, then Martin, what you're doing is you're buying a top-class striker and bringing it into somebody who in 12 months' time is going to leave the club, which means we have to replace that striker again. So you're replacing two strikers all within 12 months. So that doesn't make sense to me. You would keep your younger striker knowing that Sergio is on his way out and replace him, and then you've got your, let's say, all right, let's use Harry Kane. Harry Kane was used before. Let's say Harry Kane is bought by City. Well, if you're going to replace Sergio, if you're going to replace Agüero for Harry Kane, you can see there you can see there there's a long-term plan. But let's say you replace Gabby Jesus with Harry Kane. Well, Sergio's only got 12 more months. And then we're going to have to be looking for another replacement. So I can't see us keeping Agüero and selling Jesus, because the actual plan going forward for me doesn't, and this is only my opinion, doesn't make any sense from a tactical point of view when you're looking at managing your squad. And dismiss Harry Kane if you like. could be anybody, Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, or whatever. The same principles apply. It doesn't make sense getting rid of a young player like Gabby Jesus, bringing in a young player, but we know in 12 months' time we're going to have to replace Sergio Agüero with somebody else again. And I don't know. And that's just the way I looked at it.
I just think Gabby Jesus, if I'm going to be honest with you, since he's been here, which is his second or third year, it's going to be on.
It's his third.
Summer
and he understands he's behind Agüero, the world's best, my eyes, the best striker ever in the Premier League. How long is Gabby Jesus going to wait?
Oh no, but what you're doing there is you're switching the decision down to how long is he going to wait. We're not talking about him. I'm talking about the club. Well, if it's the both, then we've no choice in the matter, have we? If he wants to leave, there's no choice whatsoever.
Because I think it will be Lautaro Martinez who comes in.
Okay, over to Alex. You've got a point on that.
Yeah, I cannot see Sergio being replaced with a world-class striker, and Gabby Jesus being left on the bench forever. I think that would certainly damage his ambitions and ego.
Yeah.
So, I would really like. Well, my ideal scenario is bringing Son in and keeping Gabby on the bench, or possibly making him a starting left winger. But I don't see that happening. So it's only wishful thinking.
Okay, we'll bring in Chris.
Yeah, Martin's made a very good point, right? Sergio Agüero is one of the best strikers, if not the best striker the Premier League's ever seen, right? He's not going, right? But Gabby has had to play second fiddle to Sergio, and rightly so, all this time, right? I've worked in my job for a long time, right? And I've seen people on the sidelines coming through, and when they actually get the responsibility of being the main man, they shine, right? Nobody knows here if Gabby won't take on come really good when he is given that, you're our main man. You don't know until that happens. And I agree he's not the same player as Sergio, as he's not the same player as Leroy. I'm really happy with Gabby, and the same reasons probably as Pep is. He's a bloody hard worker, and that game he put in at Madrid showed you what a player he is. He was so good. I'm not ready for losing either of them, but I think you're right. If we're going to be replacing the striker, it will be for Sergio and not for Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. I mean, I don't want either to go. I'll be honest with you. I don't want Sergio. I wish Sergio was 26, 27 and we could have him for another, 5-6 years. But it will in the current climate and things like that, I just can't see how, with Agüero right at where he is with 18 months left of his contract, I just can't see how he would stay. And let's face it, there are some people, City fans and everything else, saying he's not looking as quick and he's not looking as he's still scoring goals, but he's not quite got that, dynamic pace and like he used to have. I just can't see how we would sell a Brazil number 9 who can play on the left and centre forward and keep Agüero for 12 more months, because it doesn't make any business sense. Because he could understand if City go, I'm not bothered about money, let him run down his contract, he's a legend and rightly so, blah 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 blah, and then we bring in, and I'm only using Tom's analysis of Harry Kane or whatever. Well, we'll have 3 of them, and Agüero in his last year will just get a nice couple of substitute appearances. He'll get this, he'll get that, he'll get whatever. I can understand that, but I just can't see from a footballing sense why you would get rid of Gabby Jesus and keep Agüero and bring somebody else in, when in a few months' time you're going to have to get rid of Agüero and bring somebody else in. It doesn't make any footballing sense to me. But that is not to say City won't do that. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. So, go on, Chris, you're going to...
No, yeah, it's just because, when Kevin Keegan was in charge, he wanted 6 strikers, didn't he? So to have 2 is, not many.
Unbelievable.
It's not many at all, is it? Relying on 2.
It's nothing.
He always wanted 6, and I don't know. I know football changes, and you know, Pep has revolutionised football in his own way, and as for City, but you know, I think we need 3 strikers because you get injuries. Sergio does have the odd month out,
and Christmas.
You know, usually at Christmas, and well, he's got to go and work for Santa, and
is that his girlfriend? Is that his new girlfriend?
Oh, who knows, mate. It's a case of, you know, and then, you know, if he went out and, you know, if Gabby got injured or he was bang out of form, you want another striker. You don't want another situation where you have James Milner playing up front, or, you know, I know he's not there.
But Pep has done that.
Oh, we definitely don't want James Milner playing up front.
Pep has gone with the false 9 before, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Gabby
he does play that. Yeah.
That's he does. Gabby Jesus will go on the bench and he won't play striker.
Yeah, but he does.
Volume. So what Pep actually thinks of Gabby Jesus?
I don't know. Well, everyone's entitled to the bit. I think Pep really likes Gabby. I think he really does. That's my gut feeling. But we don't know because we're not Pep. But Tom, thanks very much for that. Cheers, mate. You just gave us a 15-minute debate there about Harry Kane and you name it and everyone else.
I apologise.
Actually, you reminded me of someone there if you had a pair of sunglasses on. But now, thanks, you're sitting up. But anyway, we're going to go for a quick break. It's going to be a bit of an advert coming up, guys. So we'll be back.